I work with another colleague who also does not hear very well. He has a special stethoscope that he uses to do his auscultation and listen to the lung sounds. They cannot refuse their job. They would always find a place to place you. Okay. Let's address this question I always get. People always ask me, what is the requirement to be an RN in USA? Okay, I will tell you what it takes to be an RN in USA. So, welcome to my channel. If you're wondering who I am, my name is Priscilla Kuma. I'm a registered nurse, come from Ghana, and then I work in USA. I'm based in New York State. Yes, the cold states we are experiencing winter right now. I'm also the lead consultant for USRN Pathway Consult. We help registered nurses, midwives, and psychiatry nurses who have the interest in working in USA as registered nurses. Yes, you want to write NCLEX, the USA Nurses Licensure. You don't know what to start from, what state to choose, and all that. We got you covered. Reach out to us at www.usrnpathwayconsult.com. Register on our website and let's kick your process starting. Okay, so what are the requirements to be a registered nurse in USA? I would walk you through them one by one. First of all, who is a nurse? Okay, somebody who has undergone the nursing training program in an accredited, the word is accredited, in an accredited nursing facility. It could be a 2-year, 3-year, 4-year program based on the country you are. It could also be a diploma or bachelor's. So you should have gone to a nursing school, trained, passed all your courses, get a certificate that says this person went to this nursing school and has completed successfully. And then some countries you should have written another licensure examination that would give you the license to practice as a nurse. Not every country writes any license. Somewhere like UK, you do not write any licensure after you have completed your nursing program. And the nursing schools are all regulated by a nursing board or a nursing council. In Ghana, it is NMC. In Nigeria, it is NMC Abuja. And UK, it is NMC UK, Nurses and Midwives Council. In USA, every state has its own state board of nursing. Unlike this, Africa, where most of us have one nursing council and that's it, the 50 states in America all have their nursing council, plus its affiliated territories all have their nursing council. So the state board of nursing is what we call the nursing council in USA. So New York State Board of Nursing, Ohio State Board of Nursing, Florida State Board of Nursing, Montana State Board of Nursing. So you can register with the state and then decide what you want to do. So you should have gone to an accredited nursing facility. You should have written the licensure examination, or you should have been awarded a certificate that says this person has completed this nursing program from this time to this time and has been awarded this diploma or this bachelor's. Then you can call yourself a nurse. If you attend a college and you went to nursing school in the college, let's say for instance you went to University of Ghana and you did a nursing program from first year to the 4th year, level 100 to level 400, and you completed that program, university will award you a certificate that you have come and passed through the university, and they will award you a degree. Because Ghana has a nursing council that lets you take another licensure, the fact that you have completed a nursing university program does not mean you are a nurse. You will still have to go further and write the licensure for NMC Ghana before you be awarded that license and be titled to be called a registered nurse. So going through the nursing program does not necessarily you make you a nurse unless you have been awarded a license if your country issues license. But in UK, you do a 3-year bachelor's and you are done and you do not take any licensure, but you have a certificate and you have a body that regulates nurses, NMC UK. Okay, so you've gone to the nursing school, you have the license or the certificate to prove you're a nurse. You qualify to work in USA. You went to the nursing school and did a 3-year diploma. you qualify to work in USA. You went to the nursing school and did a 4-year bachelor's or a 3-year bachelor's, depending on wherever you are located, you qualify to work in USA. Talking about the courses or the program you study, there are different types of nursing that you have to study. USA route to be a nurse is entirely different. But back home in Africa, I know that you can do a diploma midwifery course or a diploma mental health course and you become a psychiatric nurse or a midwife respectively. And to be a midwife or a mental health nurse in USA is entirely different. But some states accept your education. They accept that diploma midwifery you have in UK or that diploma midwifery you have in Nigeria, Ghana, they accept it. Only some states accept it, not all the states accept it. So, you are a registered nurse, you have a diploma or bachelor's, you did midwifery, psychiatry, general nursing, you qualify to work in USA. Most people ask age limit. Nobody can discriminate against you when it comes to your age. So I always say there is no age limit. But you should be at least 18 and above. So somebody say, I'm 55. Can I? Yes. Retirement age in USA is 65. And you can retire and come right back. As I said, I have co-workers that in their 70s that came back and they are still working. It all depends on you and how your body is and how you are feeling. If you are physically fit, if you are healthy, your age should not be a limit. You feel that, oh, in your country retirement is 60 and you are 55, so your time is up. There are 55-year-old people who look so young. I work with them and I'm in doubt that they are 55. Do not write yourself off because 60, that means your life has ended. You are now a pensioner. You're just going to sit home. There are people who are 60 who are in nursing school. I am telling you. I had a patient recently, a few days ago. He's 56 and he's in nursing school, a male. That brings us to gender. You can either be male, female, whatever gender you are. Nobody will discriminate against you. You qualify to work in USA. Once more, race. You can be black, blue, green, Caucasian, Latino, Spanish, African. Nobody will discriminate against you because of your race. You can work in USA. The question I always get, I don't know where that notion came from. People say, oh, I have HIV. Can I get a job in USA? Can I work as an RN? Oh, I have hepatitis B, hepatitis C. I'm told I cannot work. Nobody is supposed to discriminate against you because of your health condition. I know a nurse manager who has HIV and he's still at post and working in USA here. So your medical condition should not discriminate against you. I have sickle cell. Can I work? They will find an environment that is comfortable for you to work. If you're going to be having direct patient care or something, obviously you might have a cut on your hand, an open wound. We don't want that. But nobody will say because you have HIV on your record, you cannot work. HIV has become very normal. Almost everybody walking around has it. So as I said, I have a nurse manager friend who has HIV and he's still at post. So your health condition should not discriminate against you. If you have any type of cancer, there are nurses who have cancer and they are active. It all depends on how your body is behaving. Can you be on your feet for 12 hours? Can you work overnight? Can you carry the stress? Can you be lifting and hoisting and boosting patients? As I'm here, I have a back injury from boosting and hoisting and moving patients around. If you are feeling fit and your doctor clears you and gives you the notes that this person can be at work, you can be at work. Nobody has the right to discriminate against you because you have hepatitis B or C. There are medications that would help you survive. There are people who have HIV that have remained in HIV states without proceeding to AIDS. There's Biktarvy and all these medications you can take to cope and live a normal life. People have COVID and then you stay home for 5 days and then you put a mask on and come back to work. Before then, they will let you stay home and let everything be gone. You are negative before you come back. There's shortage in nursing in America now, so nobody can keep you home that you are waiting. Mind you, there are some people who have had COVID and is still testing positive after 3-4 months. I had a patient we could not let go back home back in the days in 2020 because she was testing positive from November all the way to February. If you are a nurse, are they going to say stay home If you are not exhibiting any symptoms, you come back to work. Yes, so your HIV hepatitis C should not be a discriminatory factor for someone to say, I will not take you on this job because you have this and this. I have seen nurses who are maybe hard of hearing or use a hearing aid. I work with two people who they can speak, but they cannot hear you. So they have a machine that helps them to hear. One nurse actually, nursing student, she actually had an interpreter with her, so she can speak. So I speak to the interpreter and the person does the sign language for her, and then she replies me verbally. Then she asks me, so if I want to talk to her, I would say to the interpreter, the person standing with her, and then the person will tell her in the sign language, and then she'll reply me. And this person can read lips very well, but unfortunately, we are still wearing masks, so my mask had covered my lips, so she could not read my lips. The fact that she has hearing a problem does not mean she cannot work. I work with another colleague who also does not hear very well. He has a special stethoscope that he uses to do his auscultation and listen to the lung sounds. They cannot refuse to a job. They would always find a place to place you. There are people who are in a wheelchair who are working in the health system. They can be at the front desk checking people in. The people who do not have hands, the system will find you something to do. So do not feel discriminated against. Apply for that job of interest. Another requirement, you should have no criminal background. If you are doing this whole process, you would get to a point where they will require FBI fingerprinting and background check. This is just to check that you have not committed any crime, at least in the past few years. If you live in different cities or different countries, they want reports from all these countries just to prove that your record is clean. They do not want to hire a criminal person. If you have some issue with the law and you have evidence to prove your innocence, they will still employ you as a nurse. When you're filling the form on our website, there's a question, do you have any license restriction? This is a very simple, basic question, but for some reason, most people don't answer or understand it well to answer it well. Basically, we're asking, have your nursing license been restricted because of a crime you committed professionally? Have you been taken to court by a patient or a family member before? Have you misadministered some medication that has put you in trouble? Have you faked some examination results that the Nursing and Midwifery Council is investigating you? Is there any restriction on your nursing license at all? Yes or no is the reply. What else is a requirement? Obviously, you need a travel document. And what is that? A passport. You need an active passport. If you have one that is expiring soon, you have to renew it. Your passport should not be expiring in the next 6 months. No embassy will put a visa in a passport that is about to expire. So make sure you check your passport daily and renew it far in advance. You do not necessarily have to wait for the passport to expire before you renew it. You can renew it before its expiry date. And if you do not have a passport, obviously, I would encourage you to get a travel document for yourself, your family, your spouse, your children, because they would also have to travel with you at some point, especially if your children are below 21 years. Get your birth certificates, get all these documents, have them in soft copy. Laminate some of them and have them in soft copy and save them in your drives and save them in your computer, save them in your email, so that wherever you are, you find a job, you can only go online, upload, and then you move on. If there's a flood, there's a fire, your documents will be safe. I cannot emphasize this enough. Make sure your nursing license is active. Whether you are in practice or not, you should always renew your nursing license. I was a Ghana RN and moved to USA as a USRN. I make sure I always renew my Ghana license, even though I am not physically in Ghana and not practicing in Ghana. Make sure you always renew your license. It should be active. Do not practice nursing illegally. Who can work in USA? You have to be very confident and very motivated to go through with the process. NCLEX, as we all know, it is not a child's play. It is not an easy examination, and you have to stay motivated to be able to go through. The process is lengthy, especially if you did not school here. It can take you several years. The process is expensive, it's stressful, and even after you pass, you are not going to go into the plane and come to America the day you pass. It can take you a wait period of 9 months to even 18 months or 2 years, and you still have not entered America to start working. You need to be patient. You need to be confident to be able to tackle the task that is ahead. You need to be very confident in dealing with the patients, because when you enter the room, some of them have doubts in you because number one, you sound different. Research has shown people who do not sound different, people think they do not know their content. People who have accents, they think they don't know your content, or you are not good at your job, or you don't know your stuff. It could be language barrier, communication barrier, or something. So you have to do 2-3 times extra the work to be able to practice nursing. The patients before you know their medical condition more than the doctors. They are going to challenge you. They're going to pose questions at you. You have to be able to answer it. And if you don't know it, you are not a walking encyclopedia. That is totally fine too. Let them know, please, I am not sure. I will look into it and get back to you. Oh, this is above me. This is your doctor's question. I am not allowed to tell you your lab results. It is not my job description. That means you need to know your stuff. You need to do your research. You need to know your job description before you go telling patients things that you don't know. Because, mind you, you are sticking out. You're sticking out because you might be the only nurse of color on that floor. You might be the only nurse with an accent. Where I work, I'm the only African American, what you would call black. I'm the only one who has dreadlocks, and I'm the only one who has an accent. So as soon as you describe those things, they know who committed the crime or who the patient is referring to. You will be sticking out. You cannot blend in. You cannot hide. Your accent cannot change. Even if you live here for 100 years, you cannot sound like an American who was born here. Just get with it. Get used to it. So you need to be confident so that they'll believe in you. The patient will trust you, and then you can work peacefully. A patient who does not trust your care will not allow you to care for them well. They will stress you out. They'll send you on unnecessary errands just to get you out of their sight or get you out of their rooms. I am not scaring you. You need to be confident. You need to look people in the eye. You need to be vocal. You need to be very blunt. Speak your mind, but respectfully. You cannot be talking to a patient or a colleague and be looking down. That is a sign of timidity. But my culture, where we come from, you have to look down, put your hands behind you, and in some sort of reverence. Here, you got to speak. Your boss has 5 PhDs. His name is Mike. You're going to talk to him. Mike, I want to do this. The doctor is a consultant, has this and that credentials. His name is Smith. Smith, how can I do this? Doctor this, how can I do this? You call them on a first name basis. That does not mean it's disrespectful. It's accepted in the culture where I live. So if you're moving to a different country that is not accepted, you use the titles as such. So you need to know the culture to be able to care for the patients. You need to know the culture to be able to also live in the country. So basically, these are the requirements. You need to get your documentation right. You need to get the document, passport, everything for your children. People who live with you that you want to bring with you. Maybe you have a cousin's child you've been raising for years. Get the documents, get the right paperwork to show that you have custody of this child, adoption papers and whatever to show you are not kidnapping or taking somebody's child to be a domestic staff or something for you. There are ways to go about all that. So you have to read and research so that you can bring those people with you. Last but not the least, people ask, I am not a bedside nurse. Can I work in USA? Will I be accepted? Yes, you can. This notion was established when all these big agencies, Evans, OGP, and co go to Africa to recruit, and they only want to recruit people who are bedside nurses, so people who are in the med-surg floor, trauma, medical, surgical, orthopedic, pediatrics, and all those floors. Those are their requirements because the most short-staffed units in America or all over the world are the medical surgical centers. That's why they want people who are working in those fields. That does not mean that because you work in an outpatient, you are less of a nurse. Not at all. That is just that company's requirement. So if they are not accepting you, it's because you work outside those areas they are recruiting from. That should not make you feel less of a nurse. You also have the documents, you went to a nursing school. So what is your option? Your option then comes self-sponsorship, what I am very good at our consult, USRN Pathway Consult, where we help you with self-sponsorship. What matters most, I've always said it a zillion times, is you writing NCLEX and passing NCLEX. And those agencies that rejected you will be rushing for you and finding a place for you to place you. If you have the NCLEX license, it's like a visa that opens doors to you. The agencies will be coming and begging to recruit you. But if you want to enroll for them to invest in you, They will say no because you are working outpatient, no because you're in a doctor's office, no because you are doing a wound dressing in some the treatment room and all. But you are also a nurse. You went to nursing school, you have the license to prove it. You have the years experience to prove it. People always ask me, what about years experience? I just finished school. Do I qualify? So far as you are a registered nurse, you have the certificates, you have the license, you qualify. The process takes a while. And if you did national service, that is already 1 year experience. In Ghana, it's called national service. In Nigeria, it's NYSC. That 1 year counts as your 1 year experience. And by the time you'll be done with the whole process and taking NCLEX, you would have built 2-3 years experience. So far as you've passed or graduated from a nursing school that is accredited, and you have the license and a title has been awarded to you as a registered nurse, you can apply. You qualify too. Even for the medical doctors and some nurses in some countries, you can be a nursing school or a medical school graduate, not necessarily one with license, and you can still apply and convert and do the NCLEX and work in America, or take the USMLE for doctors and work in America. That is a topic for another day we do not want to go into. So yes, if you are not practicing at bedside, you can do self-sponsorship, and then when you pass, you'll find a job. Get your documentations well and your good resume. So to get your accreditation or your credential evaluation in USA, all you have to do is submit the diploma you have or the bachelor's you have. If you went and did some master's program or any top-up program, don't worry about evaluating those ones. If you don't want to, it comes with extra stress of going to all these schools and everything. Where you need that most is when it comes to finding an employer. You have to sell yourself to the employer. Then you tell them, by the way, this is my resume. You list everything that you have achieved that concerns your nursing career. And then you tell them that because I did a master's in public health and because I did this and this and this, I deserve you to place me on this rank. I deserve this pay. You all talk about it. They find the market value and everything, all your years experience, all your certificates acquired, and then they place you. I keep saying 2 nurses employed in USA and the same day, they came out from the same nursing school, employed on the same unit in the same company, will not be taking the same salary. It depends on what you go in to say, or what you put on your resume, or how you sell yourself. That is what they will decide to start you with. Make sure that your years experience outside the USA as a nurse counts. Push that forward. Most of the interviews will be done video call. Start learning how to sit in front of a camera to talk. Most of you say, I'm shy, I can't come and be on your channel. You are going to do it in front of an employer because you are miles away, 5,600 miles away. They have to interview you via Zoom. Have a good internet connection. Have a good background, good lighting, and be confident. Look them in the face and tell you I'm a nurse. And they'll ask you all the questions on the resume. So do not lie on your resume. Tell them what you know. Go by the resume. I finished school this year. I went this way. I worked here. Your stories should tally. Your stories should make sense. Your story should be convincing. And a good employer will see value in you. How you speak, how you articulate your words. Be very vocal, very laudable. Let them hear you. Look them in the face. It's a camera. It's just you and a phone. It's not. Just assume that way. And it's not easy talking in front of camera, but with time you get confident and sell yourself and let them put you on a higher pedestal and pay you. Don't let all your years you've acquired be different. Experience is experience. I shared my story of how one employer said they will not take my years experience back in Ghana. And when I was living in Ghana, I was a senior nursing officer. And the other one said experience is experience. No matter where you acquired it, we will consider it. And they put me on level 2. And I have a good news about my recent promotion. I'll share that in the due time to tell you about how I've moved a step higher over time. And you can also do it. Signing out, my name is Priscilla Kuma, registered nurse from Ghana. I love bringing contents like this to you. I'm so passionate about it. It's just freestyle coming from my head. That's how much passionate I am about this thing. I did not write them down. This is just the reality I live. This is my life. So anytime you wake me up, this information will come. Hope you've enjoyed this. If you haven't subscribed yet, you've been watching and you don't know where to subscribe, the word down here that says subscribe, hit that button and join us. And anytime I upload a video, you get notifications if you have hit the notification bell as well. Share this video. Click on the thanks, the love sign with the dollar in it. Yes, I love dollar. So click on that to say thank you to me and sign up for our consult at www.usrnpathwayconsult.com, and you will not regret this. You want to relocate. Start now. The year is already running. And March is here. By the time you realize it's December, and then it's 2024 and 2025. Bye-bye and take care.